Okay, listen. It's day 73, no weed. I think I have enough storage to record at least like a 5-minute video here with no interruptions. I had to go into the recently deleted. I had to delete a bunch of videos, and I think I had to go further and delete in the recently deleted, the final delete. I think I got it. So I should be able to record part 3. It should be the last part. All the views will be scattered now. It's fine. I still owe you a song. If you didn't watch the other parts, but I don't know what to play. I'm out of material at this point. Something like nope. Something like this is embarrassing. Hold on, let me lock in. Locking in. I have to figure out what it was. Alright, I got it. No, I'm really choking now. Don't click off the video yet. I'm gonna get it. Alright, that was a little disappointing. Hold on, let's run it back one more time. All together now. I'm really fucking up here. Alright, good enough. So as I was saying in part 1, you gotta make your YouTube videos long and not get to the point for a very long time to increase viewer retention. So finally, let me get to my point, because I had one today, but I kind of forgot what it was, so I have to think about it. I'm eating some popcorn here. I did something crazy. I combined wine with Diet Orange soda. Actually very good. I find that the Diet soda enhances the flavor of the wine. So try it out for yourself, because it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay, well, since I forgot my point, let me start with saying I am psyched to smoke weed again. Actually, that ties into my point, so I'm glad I pointed that out. I am psyched, straight up psyched to smoke weed again. I don't know why. I was doing good. The first days are hard, and then like days 30 to 60 are kind of whatever. And then day 61 hits, and you're like, damn, I want to smoke some weed. And I want to smoke it bad. Maybe it's because Maybe it's because you get closer to the finish line, you start getting antsy because you're like getting excited to smoke weed again. I think that has something to do with it. But regardless, that ties into what I was going to say. And something that I'm probably going to think about in the coming days up until day 100 and probably past day 100. The fact that I want to smoke weed so badly almost makes me not want to smoke weed at all. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I want to smoke this weed, but I'm starting to identify with the not smoking weed guy. Does that make sense? I'm starting to identify as the guy who doesn't smoke weed, but used to. So in my other videos, I talk about how I'm the weed smoking guy. Now I'm starting to feel more like the guy that used to smoke weed all the time, but now he's on his Alcoholics Anonymous shit. I've been dry for 3 years, you know. I have a chip that shows how dry I've been for 3 years. I'm starting to feel like that. 73 days in, I'm starting to feel like I'm the guy that used to smoke weed. And I kind of fuck with that, you know? Because honestly, okay, and don't take this personal. Because I've been seeing some haters in the chat. The chat is in a state. Actually, most people are supportive, but some people take it personal when I make these videos, as if I'm personally attacking their lifestyle. Listen, I smoke so much damn weed. I love weed. I am the #1 weed guy. Don't you understand? I love weed. If weed were a chick, I would marry her, have good sex with her, and then we would have a child together. That's how much I love weed. But let me tell you this. Weed, and to somewhat of a further extent, all drugs are lame loser shit. There, I said it. I said it. Drugs are loser shit. Okay? There's no situation where if you're a loser, doing drugs makes you less of a loser. Now, if you're a fucking winner and you win and you're winning and you're rich and you have sex every day, you have 8 bitches on speed dial, maybe more. All right, you got hoes in your Instagram DMs. I don't care. And you smoke a little weed, you drink a little alcohol. Fine. But if you're a straight loser, you're fat, you're old, you're broke, you're gay, you know, whatever it is. I had a little wine. Let me calm down. I don't want to make too much of a fool of myself. What I'm trying to say is, if you're a loser, drugs are not going to help you get out of that state. And I'm a little bit of a loser. I'm not a full-on... Being a loser is a spectrum, you know? No one's 100% a loser or 100% a winner. But if you're leaning towards the loser end of the spectrum, doing drugs only pushes you further down that line towards total loserdom. And that is just the truth. If you hate me for it, don't hate the messenger. Now, that being said, got a seed in there. A kernel, if you will. A kernel of truth, perhaps. But if that makes you mad, you might have to reflect on your drug habits. And anyway, so my point is that I really am looking forward to smoking weed again. But that anticipation, that looking forward to it, kind of works in a weird way where it makes me not want to smoke in a roundabout way. You know what I mean? The fact that I'm so excited kind of makes me want to stay sober forever and stay on my grind shit. I've been grinding behind the scenes. And I don't know, I feel like if I smoke weed, it might affect that in some ways. It might make me less willing to grind. I think there's some truth to that. And that's why I always talk about moderation, you know? Because smoking weed, let me chew my food first. Smoking weed every day, multiple times a day, that is complete hogwash. Smoking it once a week, once every 2 weeks, twice a week, once a month, every once in a while when you're with your boys, that is not really total loser shit. And so there's a balance there. And that's why in this series of videos, I often talk about moderation, because total sobriety, and here's the flip coin of it, and if you didn't click off, here's the saving grace. Total sobriety is total loser shit too. Sobriety is loser shit. Being super dependent on a drug. You ever talk to people? We're going deep. You ever talk to people and they're like, I could never give up weed because I would be so anxious and I wouldn't be able to eat and all this other shit. And you're just like, damn, you are a loser, bro. How are you going to be that dependent on a drug, on weed, on Goy Nip? You know what I'm saying? But then you have the other end of the spectrum where people, I would never touch a drug in my life. I would never smoke weed. That is just, you know what I mean? That's also loser shit. And as king loser, I'm allowed to say that. So really, moderation is the only way out. You know, you got to be able to control yourself and control your impulses. And that's the most winner thing you can do. That's the perfect balance, is to be able to smoke weed and enjoy it, but not have it take control of you and totally affect your behavior in your entire life. Where the thought of giving it up and not ever having it again gives you anxiety, or the thought of getting it and smoking it gives you anxiety. There's a balance where you don't have to be afraid of anything and you can just smoke it and enjoy it, and it doesn't have to be that deep. And for some people, it's already like that. God bless you people, you're legends. But for people like you and me, it's not that simple. We are addicts, okay? We are losers. We have to embrace that. And we have to be conscious of that fact if we're ever going to develop as people. And the only reason I thought about this was because there's a rap song where this guy says, don't pass me none of that. He says, don't even pass me that. I don't want none of it. Bubbling, if you know what it is. That just made me think, like, damn. That's kind of the way to go about it, where you don't even want the weed because it's going to fuck with you and make you a weed person. Anyway, this one's going on pretty long, so I'm going to let you go. Thanks for watching day 73. 27 days to go. We're right there. We are right there. And I can't wait. I'm very excited. We're at the point where it's definitely going to happen. And I keep spinning popcorn on my keyboard. So I'm going to end this video. Thanks for watching.